Leadership styles in social groups. Leadership is one of the most important forces shaping how social groups function, make decisions, and achieve their goals. In simple words, leadership is about influence, how one person guides, motivates, and organizes others toward a common purpose. Every society, community, or team needs some form of leadership to maintain structure and progress. From families to workplaces and even online communities, leadership determines whether people work together effectively or fall into confusion and conflict. Understanding leadership styles helps explain why some groups thrive under certain leaders while others struggle. Psychologist Kurt Lewin introduced one of the most well-known classifications of leadership styles in the 1930s: authoritarian, democratic, and laissez-faire. Each of these styles still plays a big role in understanding leadership today. Authoritarian leaders are those who make decisions without consulting others. They set rules, give orders, and expect obedience. This type of leadership is useful in situations that demand quick decisions, such as in military operations or crisis management. The advantage is efficiency and control, but the disadvantage is that it limits creativity and participation. Members under authoritarian leaders often feel less motivated and more fearful of making mistakes. Over time, this can lead to resentment and low morale within the group. Democratic leadership is almost the opposite. In this style, leaders encourage open discussions, listen to feedback, and include members in the decision-making process. The main strength of democratic leadership lies in creating a sense of ownership and belonging. People feel valued when their opinions matter, and that usually leads to better cooperation and creativity. However, democratic leadership can be slower because discussions take time, and reaching agreement can sometimes be difficult. Yet, in educational settings, community organizations, or creative workplaces, democratic leadership often brings the best results because it balances authority with participation. The laissez-faire style, meaning let it be, allows group members to make their own decisions with minimal interference from the leader. This works best when the members are experienced, motivated, and capable of managing their tasks independently. It promotes freedom and innovation but can also result in confusion and lack of direction if members do not have clear goals or discipline. In social groups, laissez-faire leadership is ideal when people already share a strong sense of purpose, such as in research teams or artistic communities. Modern leadership theories go beyond these three traditional types. Transformational leadership, for example, is about inspiring followers to work toward a higher vision. Transformational leaders motivate others by connecting their work to meaningful goals. They appeal to emotions and values, encouraging people to rise above self-interest. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. or Nelson Mandela are examples of transformational leadership because they inspired people to believe in change through shared ideals. This type of leadership is powerful because it builds emotional commitment and a sense of moral direction. Transactional leadership is another approach, focusing on structure, discipline, and reward-based motivation. In this model, the leader sets clear expectations and provides rewards for success or penalties for failure. It is practical and efficient in organizations where rules, order, and results are essential, such as in large bureaucracies or businesses. However, it does not always inspire deep loyalty or creativity because it relies on external rewards rather than internal motivation. Servant leadership is an alternative philosophy that has gained attention in recent years. In this style, the leader's main goal is to serve others rather than seek power or control. A servant leader focuses on empathy, listening, and community welfare. This style is especially effective in non-profit organizations, social work, and education, where leaders build trust by prioritizing people's needs. Followers respect servant leaders because they lead with humility and compassion. Leadership is also deeply connected to social identity. According to social identity theory, people follow leaders who represent their group's shared values and identity. A leader is most effective when group members see them as one of us rather than above us. This is why in social movements or political activism, leaders who embody the experiences and struggles of their followers gain stronger support. Their power comes not only from authority but also from emotional connection and shared purpose. Culture plays a big role in shaping leadership styles too. In collectivist cultures, which emphasize harmony and cooperation, leaders tend to use more participatory and community-focused approaches. They aim for consensus and group unity. In contrast, individualistic cultures value independence and assertiveness, so leaders are often more decisive and competitive. Traditional societies may base leadership on age or social status, while modern societies value education, vision, and skill. Understanding these cultural differences helps explain why leadership expectations vary across societies. The context also determines which leadership style works best. In emergency situations, people often prefer strong, directive leadership because it provides stability and quick decision-making. But in creative environments, such as media production or research, a more democratic or laissez-faire approach is ideal because it gives members freedom to experiment. The best leaders are adaptable. They adjust their style to fit the situation, the goals, and the people involved. Flexibility, emotional intelligence, and communication are essential traits of effective leadership. In today's world, leadership has evolved beyond traditional settings. Digital communities, social media platforms, and online movements have created new forms of leadership where influence does not depend on formal authority. Online leaders, like influencers or activists, guide opinions and behaviors by sharing ideas and values that connect with their audiences. Their strength lies in communication skills and authenticity. This shows that leadership is not only about position. It is also about influence and the ability to inspire others even from a distance. At its core, leadership in social groups is about managing relationships, creating direction, and maintaining motivation. Different styles work for different purposes, but all leaders need to understand human behavior. A good leader knows when to take control, when to listen, and when to empower others. Leadership is not just about giving orders, it is about setting an example, providing support, and ensuring that everyone in the group feels part of something meaningful. In the end, leadership is not a single formula but a balance between power, empathy, and vision. Authoritarian leaders may maintain order, democratic leaders build unity, laissez-faire leaders inspire independence. Transformational leaders spark change, transactional leaders maintain discipline, and servant leaders create harmony. Each has strengths and weaknesses, and the best leaders often combine elements from all these styles depending on what the group needs. If you found this explanation helpful and learned something new about leadership and how it shapes social groups, please like this video and subscribe to the channel.